works. Here we are. I'm gonna have to start with Barack Obama, because my whole life, as you know, I was a slave and a prisoner from the time I was 2 until I was 28 or so. I was a slave to Rita Denman and her mother, Dot Zot, and her cult. And then when I was 28, I think, I married Peter Mickelson, and then I became Lynn Mickelson. And I was their slave. Rita and Peter teamed up as Prince and Princess of their cult, satanic cult. And I was their slave and prisoner until I was 55. And when I was 50, I moved to Maryland to get away from them, but I realized really quickly that they found me and they were, gaining access to me, because I would wake up and things would be moved around in the house, or I'd feel really, really sick. I knew they had tortured me. So I got this RV and then I took off. In 2007, I changed my name to Grace Gardner, and that was a name given to me by God. He wanted me to change my name to Grace, and I said, well, you need a last name, and he didn't know what that was. So I thought about it for a couple of days, and all I could come up with was Gardner. And God said, well, that's all right, because it's not going to be permanent. You're not going to have that for very long. Now, God, for very long means, not for very long means probably 3 years. Soon to God is like 3 years, and not for very long. Now it's been 10 years, and I still have the same name, so there you go. I mean, you think that he doesn't answer your prayers, but he does, but he has no concept of time. He's very bad with time. He hates it. He only created the universe the way he did so that we could have time. But that's a whole other thing. Anyway, when I was really teeny tiny, I started to do political consulting, because you can look it up. It's in my blog how that happened. So I worked with the Kennedys quite a little bit, and I have worked with Jimmy Carter on Habitat for Humanity, and he warned me about the ACLU. He said he thought the ACLU might be another branch of the government and intelligence, and a way for the government to find out who is, subversive, who want to undermine the government, because those are the people who would need lawyers